Konnichiwa everyone, it's Santi. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about this. Post-Japan depression is real or not? I just found this video on Instagram and I was like, okay, I gotta talk about this in my channel because this is something I always thought about it, and at the same time, I want you to give a heads up, a caveat before you come to Japan. You know, and they're talking about the really good thing about Japan, Japanese people and stuff, right? But at the same time, I want you to be, ready for what's real, So let's talk about this. Anyway, so this channel is all about Japanese culture, language, and this is self-talk channel. So I want you to enjoy this video and channel like a podcast, all right? Anyway, let's watch together this video first. And yeah, after that we talk, okay? All right, so this video is from Wild Chaos Podcast, okay? So I attach the accounts links in my description, so please take a look if you want to watch more videos like this. Yeah, there are many videos. All right, so let's watch first.
Hey, there's this thing called post-Japan depression, and it's a real thing.
Oh shit.
Yes, you Google this, look it up on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Like, anybody who goes to Japan, you go there and you experience this like legitimate utopia, and then when you come back to wherever you came from, like America, you literally have depression. Like, it's a dopamine depletion when you get back. I was there 2 months ago on a trip with some buddies for like 2 weeks, and same thing. I came back and it's like you're just drained and depressed because you come back to like America.
That's fascinating to me because I feel I'd be so overwhelmed with the lights and the people, because I'm a very seclusive, like mountains are my home, right? Like I love just peace, I love quiet, I love looking at stars. But then you take something like Tokyo, which is the polar opposite of everything that I'd ever want to be or ever want to like live in and experience for a long term. But hearing that, it's fascinating to me because obviously they're doing something right, like efficiency, the cleanliness.
It's like the whole country is like staying in a 5-star hotel, if I can put it that way. So
it looks like that. Even restaurants are mind blowing. Like,
yeah, the hospitality's next level, the food's next level. I mean,
how do they treat Americans there?
Nicely, yeah. They're very, if you're respectful. Because what would piss me off, especially when I lived there, is when I would see tourists come around, like the Australians, because they're everywhere. Yep. The Aussie tourists, or like dumb Americans that would come by, or also like you'd also have to deal with like the sailors in Yokosuka or the airmen in Yokota and the Marines from Oki coming to mainland for leave and stuff. So when I would see tourists, running amok and being loud on a train or something, I'm like, guys, shut the fuck up. Like, be respectful of the society, because if you are, they're not going to have a problem with you at all. They're going to be very welcoming. They're going to try to speak English with you to help you out and give you directions and all that stuff. On my last trip, because if you go to Japan, you can't just go to Tokyo. They say there's this thing called post-Japan.
Okay, so there are more. If you want to watch, there are more videos in their channels. Anyway, so how do you feel? Did you have exactly the same feeling as he had? That's my questions. I'm curious. Yeah, so I totally understand that when you go overseas, travel, whatever, when you come back to the real life, you feel like, oh God, again, stuff, oh, I have to go back to work, whatever. It's kind of understandable. And that's what he's talking about. But he said post-Japan depression. So there are many people who went to Japan, they felt the same way, whatever. That's what he said, and he's American. And I was curious, how his follower react to this. And I found this, there are many likes, right? 2,000, right? It's only 50, whatever, so only 4. This is 2,000. You know what he says? This is Bob Zalelus. He said, it's just post-travel depression, nothing to do with Japan. When you go from excitement to your boring life every day, yeah, you're gonna be depressed. And you'll see kind of similar comment here too, there are many, right? So I was thinking that it could be like a post-travel depression. Nothing to do with the Japanese stuff. But you know what? It's so funny though. Most of Japanese people, as far as I know, my family, relatives, or friends, including myself, whenever we go overseas, and whenever we arrive at Haneda or Narita airports, we are so happy. I'm not joking. Because of we can meet family member or whatever, friends. No, because we came back to Japan. So it's like not a post Japan depression. It's more like a post travel, like I don't know, appreciation. I don't know. Because whenever we come back to Japan, we feel like, oh god, family mart ga aru jan, you know, Circle K, you know, 7-Eleven, you know, we wanna rush into convenience store. I clearly remember when I went to America when I was young, yeah, when I was living in Dubai, Ireland, Mexico, Australia. Whenever I stay there for over 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever, or sometimes years, whenever I come back, I was so happy, extremely happy, because the food, you know, it's so, first of all, not overpriced like some other countries, right? And the taste is great, and the taste I like is there everywhere. You know, if you go street, you can find a convenience store. I don't know. We definitely, most Japanese people agree with me. Whenever they come back to from overseas, definitely we like, oh my god, now we are here in Japan. Yes, you know, this type of feeling. Not only this man, yeah, but we also feel same. So yeah, like for a second I thought it just travel depression and stuff, right? But when it comes to Japan, it's not really so, you know. And this is something I want to share. Don't worry, I go back to the whatever he said, right? But let me share this. When I went to America first time, I was study abroad, right? I met many Japanese students, Korean students, Chinese students, all right? Singaporean, whatever. There are many students, right? International students. Many of them, okay, they studied there, had a similar experience, but most Japanese people, they want to go back home. I'm so sure still that tendency is there. Yeah, most Japanese students, they want to go back to Japan and get a job. Yeah. However, when it comes to South Korean people, they want to stay there. They want to stay in America. Chinese people, same. They want to stay in America. But when it comes to Japanese people, this is my experience, okay? So you don't need to agree with me. But at least around me, everyone, they want to go back to Japan. You know, they want to get a job in Japan. So that's definitely that tendency there, because once we experience the life here, the efficiency, cleanness, whatever he said, same thing, but and safety, no discrimination, you know, no rocks or stones to me like I got experience in Ireland. Oh god, teenagers. But anyway, not visible discrimination, not there, not here. Maybe you might experience something, okay, if you go to some places, but usually it's safe. A girl on a miniskirt can walk outside at 1 a.m. Safe, okay? Of course, you gotta be careful though, but usually it's safe. Nothing matter, right? You're drunk, right? You drink too much, you sleep on a, platform or like a train. No one bother you. No one, because it's safe. You know, so we cultivated this culture in the entire society. Safetyness, right? Safety. So that's something we really admire, and we notice that, oh god, that's value, you know, right after we come back from overseas. And the food, you know, that's something like we always enjoyed. Onigiri, right? I always eat at Narita whenever I come back from America. Always go to Family Mart, you know, right? That Family Mart. There's one Family Mart there, okay? And I buy so many stuff. I eat, you know, and I go to take a train, go back to Tokyo, you know. Oh my god, yeah. So you know, this stuff, the food, are so different and not overpriced. Yeah, because I stayed in Ireland, and there, the food is, no offense. Oh, yeah. I mean, I love them, right? People are there nice, except teenagers. Okay, people are there nice, very nice, and usually nice. Okay. I got some really bad discrimination, but it's still okay, fine. Like a stone, like a little physical type of the discrimination. Yes, I got. Yeah, I got. Yeah. Okay, it's not okay. Look, the experience I got in Ireland. Yeah. But anyway, it was fun. But as soon as I come back here, I was like, oh god, you know. So that's what I felt. Yeah. So I totally understand whatever he said. Yeah. But to a certain extent, as this guys or other people says, it's nothing to do with Japan. It could be just a post-travel depression. It could be it. Yeah, I understand. But you know what? So from here, I wanna advise to this man and this world podcast boys and also people who are watching this video. Since you travel, Japan, you experience here as a guest, as a customer, paying customer, right? So of course we are nice. Japanese people are very nice. First of all, we don't tell you, the rude stuff. Yeah, even though they hate inside, they smile. They try to be quiet, not nothing. Because that's our culture, Notice without being said, without someone tell you. You gotta notice. If you're a mature, grown-up adult, you must be able to read the atmosphere, right? Remember, I always tell you in these channels, right? Public space you don't want to destroy. Sound, smell, whatever, okay? Don't destroy. Just be one of the member, right? That's why we hate people dancing around or put music on. We extremely hate. That's really rude in this country. And if you do that, as an adult, we're like, oh man, 外国人ふざけんなよ. Or foreigners again. What the fuck? That's how we feel inside. We don't really say it, We don't wanna fuss, right? Yeah, but sometimes wild Japanese people, they get into fight anyway. So, so when you come to Japan as a traveler, we are nice and we try to treat you nicely, okay? But the point is, you have to know, right? When you come to Japan as a resident, okay? If you start living here, like 1 year, 2 years, you have to switch your mind, like to understand and accept the culture to a certain extent. If you fail to doing it, trust me, this country gonna be super pain in the butt. Even though there's efficiency, nice food, whatever, and then the safety, it doesn't mean anything because you feel so, like a what the fuck feeling all the time. As I explained already, okay, many times in these channels, we prioritize public space. We prioritize others before you, okay? So if you're acting like you are the main role in this world, I'm the main character, I do whatever the fuck I want, that kind of mind mentality. Trust me, you cannot do well with the Japanese people, okay? You want to prioritize other people first. You want to think about it first, Sometimes those culture is too much, So some people get mentally ill, because they care too much other people, right? Social pressure. I don't know how to say in a psychological terminology, but it happens, yes. But fundamental part, it's always same, okay? So that's something I want to give a heads up, right? You enjoy traveling, that's great, okay? Like he said, what he said? He said dumb American or like Australian, they don't talk, they don't shut up in a train or whatever, and he feels to talk up, right? That's so true. That's exactly what we feel too, But not only American though, not only Australians, Chinese people are so loud too. South Korean kind of similar. So South Korean people are always align well. Yeah. But anyway, but you know what? So when we travel, it's fine, and we feel like gaijin, fine. But if you start living here, you gotta follow. Have to follow. Okay? And there are so many Vietnamese people, Chinese people, and also Turkey people who move here as immigrants or I don't know, as refugee. They said they never have such a mindset to understand, to accept the local culture. So they do whatever they want. Okay, I don't want to say this because I don't want to attack some. I'm not attacking, but this is sharing truth, facts, right? But yeah, I don't say which nationality, but one of the nationality, those workers, they start killing pig. First of all, they steal pig. They stole a pig from the farm and they bring it to the Tokyo residence, and they start chopping the pig. And they start grilling pork. inside a house. Can you imagine this? Seriously, what the hell, right? I mean, we don't do that kind of stuff. Why don't you go supermarket? There's a pork. But they don't have money, you know. So we start seeing those people extremely now, you know. And I am patriot, you know. I love my country. So I want you to enjoy this country, yeah, like he did. Definitely yes. And I want you to, you know, have a better experience, yes. But at the same time, even as a, even you come here as a traveler or just a customer, you know, at least show understanding or try to understand how it works, what it is, you know. And this is like a flexibility. This is something like, yeah, like unconscious bias, you know, same things, you know. If you try, whenever you face something difficulties or some new things like oh, what the fuck thing on a situation, you know, don't take it personal, right? And then don't take it emotionally, right? Just see it like oh, wow, how that, why you do this, you know, and what was that, you know. And then whenever you have those type of, you know, question, always just dig 2-3 layers, like why it's happened, because of that, why is that happened, because of this, you know. We call this why analysis in Toyota, by the way. Anyway, so we just dig a bit and you see the real value, the real cause, right? The main cause, what is causing this entire, you know, like the visible problem, whatever. So whenever you have the situation, like a what the fuck situation, you know, like why, then definitely always just dig down, right? Okay. Of course, that's vice versa. Whenever you be surprised, like wow, it's so great, or oh my god, so good, you know, this type of the experience too, you know, like extreme experience, you know, good thing, bad thing, same, right? Whenever you have the good thing, same things. Why they do this? Why they maintain that clean? Why they have such a safety society, whatever? Just you know, dig a little bit, 2 or 3 layers, and then you see how we think, perceive life. You'll see the core part of our culture. That's the time you'll experience the real Japan, I think. You know what I mean? Sorry, I cannot put in the words nicely, but I hope you get it. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about this video. Yeah. And if you take a look, you know, kinda some people agree with him, some people not agree with him, you know. It's so, see, Japan best place in the world that I have ever visited, whatever. For some people, it's a great place, for some not, you know. But again, as a customer, always you feel great, yeah. But once you start living here, it can be difficult, yeah, different experience. So to have a better life in Japan as a resident, then you wanna have the mindset to accept, to understand, try to understand, and then accept certain extent, you know, and then your life gets much better, right? Oh, by the way, I don't hate Ireland. You know, Ireland, great, yeah. But about Ireland, it's teenagers. Seriously, what the fuck? Seriously, the country is crazy about teenagers. You should search. It's so violent, and I really had really bad experience. My Indian friends and other friends too, really bad experience. Yeah, like a violent experience, and. Seriously though, the country needs to fix it. But besides that, other than that, good. About food, yeah, potato only. But and, you know, here's the things. You know, I have a friend from Ireland, right? One time, he came to Japan, and he lived for a year or 2 years. And I asked him, "So, do you wanna stay here forever?" He said, "No, I wanna go back to Ireland." Ireland? You wanna go back to Dublin? He said, yes. Why? I miss potatoes. Are you serious? He said the mashed potato. And also he said Dublin is great because, you know, and the mayo is great, you know. So, you know, like there's a person in this video said, you know, who wanna be alone or mountain, you know, nature people. Maybe Japan is not for that. Yeah. But if you go to countryside, you know, in Japan, countryside, it's great. You can enjoy ski, snowboarding, else mountains. There's so many natures. And if you go countryside, it just maybe 30 minutes on train, right, by train. You can hear like sounds of insects, nice rice field, in summertime. At night, it's so great, like a manga, anime type of like a scenery is there, actually. So like where I'm from, countryside. So that's something like we really enjoyed too. So yeah, it's all up to you. Yeah, but image of Tokyo, Shibuya, Shinjuku is too strong, and people believe in that. That's Japan, but it's not. It's really not, So yeah, you should try many cities too when you come to visit Japan. But when you come here as when you plan to live here for longer than 2 weeks, definitely make sure which city you live. That's very important. Otherwise, you don't even have entertainment, if you go to countryside. Anyway, that's it. All right. Thank you, and let me know what you think about Japan and this post-Japan depression things. I don't know your opinion. And also, yeah, I gotta advertise. Yeah. And also, if you have planned to come to Japan, live in Japan, let's learn Japanese with me. Okay? Yes. Lately, I'm doing my best advertising my language school, right? So take a look at the description. There's a language course, and it's a free trial too. So yeah, see you in the class, right? Okay. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.